Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are here for another episode of Tech File. Ain't gonna hold y'all too long because we got some NBA playoffs to talk about. Although I do want to avoid talking about the
Playoffs.
Bucks right now, but I ain't gonna be soft. We gonna do it. So let's get into the show. Welcome to episode 249 of Technical File, the sport podcast you never knew you needed. Tim ain't here right now. We ain't going to pretend to do his intro. We ain't got that much energy. So Eric,
I am the Eric J.
only known as
The Eric J.
And I'm Camille, point guard of the crew, the real life Tifa Lockhart, the girl next door. You know, holding it down for all the women who love sports.
And it's your boy K Harris, the gentleman,
The gentleman,
the everyday gentleman,
24/7.
but better known as K Diddy.
Take that. And if you're watching on the YouTube here, you can see there's another face that we have here. Dooch is here with us on the virtual tip tonight. We were telling him before we come on the air that we ain't seen him in about 2 years now. So it's good to see. It's good to see. So, sport fact of the week. Eric, do you have one? Because if not, I actually have one.
Oh,
go ahead.
Back up. Point guard.
5 years ago, on this date, May 10th, 2017. Myself, Eric, Tim, and Ken all got together at Skybox.
Hey.
All got together for the very first time to talk about what this podcast was going to be. We came up with the name of the podcast that night, did some fellowshipping, got to know each other a little bit better, and it was the beginning of Tech File. And I feel like that's a good sport fact of the week because we've been doing this for 5 years now.
Out here putting in that work.
That's the sport fact of the year.
Facts. That first episode came out a few weeks later, but like May 10th was the day that the four of us got together to figure out what this was going to be. And if you have been here since the beginning,
Growth.
Thank you for not being ran off scared while we figured out what our voice was going to be, because the first few episodes
trash. I was trash. I could admit I was trash.
I make no such admissions. I've been great since the jump.
Eric said I always had it in the bag.
I was on bullshit.
Hey, that's the beauty of my role on this show. I can be as boring as I want to. Like, y'all just play it. Y'all,
Hey,
I'm just here to clean shit up.
I was corporate Ken, bro. I'm saying, God darn it. I wasn't cussing. Dag nabbit.
Oh man, them early episodes were they were something. What I want to do is just start playing random clips of old episodes. Maybe I'll do that throughout the next few weeks. Just random old clips from Tech File, because there are some highlights. Some episodes are funny to go back and listen to. Like when the Lakers are about to get Brooke Lopez. And Ken was like, "Oh yeah, for sure. Like I'm good with that. Like yeah, Brooke gonna be cool." And then it didn't work out. He's like, "Nah, I'm good on Brooke." And then we got Brooke, and it was all like, "Oh my god, we love him." And then it was Ken being like, "Why wasn't he doing this?"
Exactly. Like nigga ain't shit.
5 years of sports takes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And as y'all know, every year we release an anniversary T-shirt. This year we do have some exciting merchandising news. I'm not going to spoil it yet because I ain't finished it yet, but that's my internal motivation, external motivation to now get it done. So that's what we call a tease.
Get on his app. Get on him. See how I switched that up?
I mean, y'all can help.
I'm glad you switched that up.
I missed it.
Good.
Okay,
Because he's about to have people out here on
Exactly. Yeah.
on some dirt.
And Boots is in the chat.
What's up, Kane?
Hey.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. All right. The game that needs a name. So if, again, you are new here, the game that needs a name is the title of the game that we play to open up the show, where we throw out a topic and then we each have a few seconds to name something related to that topic. Last one standing wins. So I see Eric dropped in Marvel Heroes, which is fitting because Doctor Strange 2 came out this weekend. What a movie. And then Moon Knight just finished up as well. So Marvel Heroes is
great as well.
Yeah, Marvel Heroes. I'd be down with that.
Yeah, we can
also still have sport movies. And another one I thought of was cities with a NFL team or NBA team, like whichever category. Okay. But let's do Marvel Heroes. As Kane just got back from seeing Doctor Strange. No spoilers in the comments.
Even if I said, "Oh,"
because someone here hasn't seen it yet. If I'm correct, yeah. So, but man, that movie was cracking. Okay, we can do Marvel Heroes for the game that needs a name. Dude, you playing? He said not.
He like Iron Man. That's all I got.
All right. So that being said, you want to go Eric, then me, then Ken, and then bounce back up that way like a triangle.
Okay.
All right. Marvel Heroes, the game that needs a name. Eric, kick us off.
Iron Man.
Spider-Man.
Doctor Strange.
Captain America.
Ant-Man.
Oh shit! Damn, I'm on already. I'll say Tony Stark. I'm bullshit.
You said Tommy Stark?
No, I said Tony. I was like,
I want to say, all right.
War Machine.
The Wasp.
Winter Soldier.
God dang it! That's what I was gonna say. Captain America.
I already said.
I said I'm already.
I didn't hear that one. All right, you win. Should have said Black Panther.
Every week, first one out.
You know, it's when the rhythm gets thrown off. When I thought you said Tommy Stark, you threw off my whole flow. But I'm not gonna blame you for my failures.
I'm gonna win one of these. I'm gonna win again.
One of these days.
One of these days.
Topic discussion. Spoiler alert. Very NBA heavy. So hope y'all like basketball because that's what we about to be on. Okay. Wait, dude, are we playing sound effects? Oh, there you go. Okay. It's been a while, man. It's been a while since we actually had Dude in here with us. So we're going to check in. We're going to start with the series that the folks have come to hear us talk about. Milwaukee and Boston, the series is currently tied at 2-2. Game 5 takes place tomorrow, a.k.a. Wednesday. Game 6 is Friday. Game 7, if necessary, will be on Sunday. I'm gonna kick it over to y'all because I feel like I've spoken a lot about the Bucks over the last couple days. I do want to just say though, shout out to Celtics Corner on YouTube. They had me on their pregame show before Game 4. Had a ball, even though some of the Celtics fans in the comments was at my head, but that's cool. I expected. I didn't realize they hated Giannis so much. Some people just say they are not a fan, but it was fun. Had a great time with them. So if y'all just like basketball coverage or anything of the like, I would highly recommend checking out Celtics Corner. I did see a Bucks fan comment that it was a lot of Bucks fans too. And one said that he was there because there's no such thing as the Bucks Corner. So he was invading their space, which made me go,
Things that make you go,
That being said, though, how are y'all feeling about this series right now?
I don't know. Like, it's going about as I expected. Like, neither team can really score. Yeah, Bucks are playing with your heart. Okay, I get it. Again, it helps that, like I was starting to say, this is what I expected. Like, the Bucks half-court offense leaves a lot to be desired, but both teams have great defenses, and we got Giannis. So that's always going to keep us in the game. I think last week on this show, I said that there are certain people that the Bucks were going to allow to get shots or encourage to get shots, and if they make them, they're going to lose. And that's kind of like, going in, you just have to live with that. And it's like yesterday, Al Horford got hot, and the Bucks lost. So while it was unfortunate because, going into late in the third quarter, they had a 10-point lead, but it's the NBA, 10-point leads are never safe.
Smoked it.
Yeah, but then giving up 42, 43 points in the fourth
43
quarter.
in the fourth quarter.
Jesus.
Yeah, that'll do it. So, this is going about as I expected. Drew Holiday has to play better. I don't care that he took that many shots and missed that many shots. Like, his aggression is a good thing, but at the same time, like, they missed a lot of easy opportunities. Well, not necessarily easy opportunities, but opportunities where he didn't have to just try to go, ISO.
Mm-hmm.
They got Brook Lopez on mismatches numerous times in the post, hand up, like, hey, I'm here. Like, Giannis missed him a bunch too, but like Drew was egregious with it because they would always be like, you missed the switch, and then you fiddle with the ball for like 5 seconds, and then you just do a step back that is nowhere close. And it's like, again, be aggressive, but also play within the flow of the offense and take what the defense is giving you. Like, Brook Lopez matched up against Jason Tatum in the post. Brook ain't the greatest post player, but like, that's still an advantage Bucks. And even if like they cover it, they collapse on it, he can still kick it out to shooters. But like, just having all 4 offensive players just kind of staring at you while you do nothing and throw up a prayer is like, that was a turnover. Yeah. And like, I don't necessarily want to be critical of Giannis because he's pretty much doing everything at this point, but like, some of his shot selection is not great, and I get it. Like, they're missing Middleton, and all of that falls on Drew and Giannis. But again, make it easier for yourself. Like,
exactly.
Have who was it? They had somebody on it that was a favorable matchup. I want to say they had Tatum on them.
Whenever Brown got on Giannis, it was mismatch city.
Yeah, like that was the one matchup that he wanted to attack. But he had Tatum on him, and then he called for a screen to get Al Horford him. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, even if Tatum plays good defense on you, like, you're still wearing him down on the other end of the court. So I don't know. The Bucks just have to play smarter, which is a theme for them in the playoffs. Like, unfortunately, like, they shout out to the dunker spot because they say the best team at defending the Bucks are the Bucks because they
absolutely
do lots of things that just get in their own way. Like, if they just play like, average IQ basketball, like, this series would possibly, well, no, game 2 they would have lost either way. But this would be a 3-1 series right now if they just play smart because like they fiddled away a really big lead at the beginning of the fourth just by playing dumb and not taking advantage of mismatches. So I still think they can win the series. I'm not at all discomforted by their the most recent game. They still had the best player in the series. I think that it's ironic when the Celtics lose players, they get better. Yeah. But it's because like they're losing guys that the Bucks seem to game plan for, and like when that gets changed last minute, like they're just kind of thrown off. Like they recognized Rob Williams was a mark in game 3 and kept going at him with Giannis. You don't have that mark on the court no more. Like, now what you gonna go to? Same thing with Marcus Smart in game 1. Like, they knew he didn't want to try to score, or like that him trying to score was best for them. So like encouraging him to score kind of gums up the works of the Boston offense. Then without him in game 2, like to do that, then again it's like, okay, what we do now? So like I think if there's continuity in the Boston, like the Bucks are great at game planning, it feels like, but they don't adjust on the fly very well.
Yeah, in-game adjustments are still a little bit of a weak spot. But I agree with what you said. In-game, or like they were making it more difficult than they needed to throughout the game, especially offensively, because the Celtics have a great defense. Like this, no cap, like it's a great defense. It's a great team. So don't make things harder on yourself than you need to. If you see a mismatch, just try to exploit that. You see Brooke in the post, drop it down to him. Like, I literally, at one point I was like, throw Brooke the ball, because he had Marcus Smart on him and he's sealed and he's arm up, like, give me the ball. And this was after Giannis dunked on Al Horford and talked whatever he said to him, got the little taunting foul. And it felt to me like at that point, Giannis was like, I'm about to attack you over and over and over. And at times, he was attacking Horford and taking shots that weren't advantageous to the team itself. It was more so like, I think the Celtics were like, if this is what he wants to do, we're going to be perfectly fine with that, because now he's just trying to play this one-on-one game. And it just didn't work out for the Bucks. Like, you have to be aggressive for sure, like you said, with Giannis and with Drew. But you got to be smart about it too. Like, you got to have that IQ aspect to it. And, you know, really, it's the playoffs. Like, you don't have a high margin of error. And without Chris Middleton, your margin for error is even smaller at this point, because Chris Middleton is able to bail you out in some situations because he is a dynamic half-court, you know, generator. Like, he can get you some buckets. And without that, you don't have that margin of error. So you need to be even more on top of your game. And in game 4, I felt like the fourth quarter, Giannis was gassed. He didn't have any more to give at that point. And when you don't have anything more to give and Al Horford's hawking up, good win, Boston. Like, good win. That's all I really got. Like, you did what you were supposed to do in that situation. I did not expect it to go that way, but that is the way that it went. They got stronger as the game went on. The Bucks seemed like they kind of peaked in the third quarter, which we saw in game 3 a bit as well.
It felt like in the first.
What's up, P. Flacco? I see you in the comments. Appreciate you. Dropping through, sir.
I was just gonna say, like, it felt like that first Fast and Furious movie where, like, somebody would hit the NOS button and they'd be like, too soon. Like, that was the Bucks in the third quarter.
That's a fact. That's a fact. We all had the Bucks winning this game or series. We don't do individual games here, but do y'all have your confidence shaken at any level with the Bucks now going back to Boston 2-2? Boston's a tough place to play. Ken, the Lakers fan, he knows all about what it's like to play in Boston. So I want to know how you're feeling about this series between Milwaukee and Boston, and do you think that Milwaukee can still pull it off?
Yeah, I still feel confident that Milwaukee can pull it off. The series is basically going like how we expected it to go. I know I originally said like Bucks in 6.
Still possible, technically.
Yeah, and it's still possible that can happen. This series is showing like how like crucial like not having Chris Mid there. Like, and Giannis can't sustain this. Like, he can't get to the fourth quarter and be gassed. Like, he has to have some type of help. Like, you know, somebody do need to step up a little bit more. And yeah, like I said, it's going to how I expected it to go. I feel like this is the series that they're gonna be the team that like most likely could like probably win the championship. I feel like
it's not even just the East.
Yeah, like win it all.
I feel you on that. I was saying like whoever wins this series, I think will win the East. But we can talk about the Western Conference playoffs as well, because it's honestly at first of all, like the second round was like, man, it's not going to be, you know, that great with some of the injuries that were happening. But the second round of the playoffs so far has been fantastic. When we come back to the studio here, Kane says that Grayson needs to hit open shots. I need to hit open shots,
and Bobby needs to take open shots.
Okay, so I noticed this with Bobby. Bobby, game 1, he was doing this thing. Game 2, when Boston came out and smacked the Bucks, we know that Bobby Portis has a very slow release. And when we first got him his first season here, he said he passed up a few looks thinking that the closeout was going to be coming. But really, they were just running him. Like, they really weren't going to put a hand up, really weren't going to contest it. So he realized he actually had more time to get his shot off than what he realized. And in game 2 of this series, they were closing out so hard on Bobby. I think he had like 2 threes blocked, or at least affected, where it was just like he couldn't get it off. And since game 2, when they started affecting his shot in that way, I felt like he's been a lot more hesitant about getting his shot off and just kind of thinking through it. So Bobby is somebody who I could see coming back in game 5, having a big game. Just kind of, just hooping, just kind of getting out of his head a little bit and hooping. And let me make this very clear. I'm not saying now like Bobby gonna come out and get like 30 and be the help that Giannis was always asking for. I'm just saying like we need our role guys to put up at least double digit, points in these games. And we're going to need Bobby to give us 10, 15 points a game. So Alan in the comments, if we lose this series, please get rid of Bud. Cannot agree with you there, Alan, because to be completely honest with you, going into the series with no Chris Middleton, I had to kind of have my co-host here talk me into how the Bucks could win this series. Without Chris Middleton, this Bucks team just doesn't have the same ceiling. So if the Bucks were to lose this series against Boston, I wouldn't be like, it's time to fire Bud. I would be like, we need a Chris Middleton. So,
I mean, like, I think we're past the point of fire Bud. Like, he won a title.
We should be.
And like we can say that the in-game adjustments are, leave us wanting, but I don't think that was why they lost the lead in the fourth quarter. Like, that was on-court decision-making. Bud can't go out there and he can't go out there and play for them. Like, he's instilled a system and they're running it, but then they short-circuit it or, give credit to Boston's defense. And like, you can say like, hey, Drew, you're taking dumb shots. Giannis, you're taking dumb shots. But like, I think part of Bud's philosophy is like, let the players play, especially on offense. It's like Giannis is an instinct player.
Yeah. Alan's making a point in the comments that we have great defenders. He doesn't understand why the strategy is hoping that they miss an open three.
Because math.
Yeah, it's really a math thing. We're going to trust that these shooters who are not great 3-point shooters are going to continue to not be great 3-point shooters. And we're going to take away everything else. You can't take away everything. And I can definitely understand the frustration that comes when you're watching them and you're seeing open looks consistently over and you're just like, can we at least put a hand up? Can we make the shot a little bit more difficult? And to be honest with you, in games 3 and 4, the Bucks have done a better job of chasing some guys off of the line. Like, they've done better with giving up corner threes than they did in the first 2 games. So, I mean,
like, again, to demonstrate the math problem, go back to game 1. Like, the Celtics hit 18 3-pointers. Like, that is really good regardless of how many you get up. Like, they shot 36%. Like, that's a solid, if not spectacular, percentage. But they couldn't score inside the arc. So, like, that clogged the paint. Like, that worked because they didn't allow anything. Like, there were 10 field goals from 2-point range. And I don't know how many of those were actually in the paint. So, like, I get how, like, to Camille's point, like, I get how it can be frustrating, but at the same time, like, when it works, and you have to trust that the math is going to math 4 times out of 7, and that you're going to do enough on offense. But given the talent deficit that the Bucks are at without Middleton, like, I understand doubling down on what you do well, and then, like, hey, Al Horford, Marcus Smart, Grant Williams, Peyton Pritchard, bomb away, and good luck to you.
Especially if we can get them doing them ones where the closeout does come, and then they do like a step back to try. I'm like, you ain't got that in your bag. You need to chill out. You don't know who you think you are. This ain't 2K, bro. You ain't got that in your package. Any other thoughts on Milwaukee, Boston before we move on to another interesting series? No? All right. Okay. Now we can talk about Miami, Philly right now. Or we can talk about Memphis, Golden State, which I think might be just like the most, I'm going to say, exciting series right now. Like, even the games where I think it's about to be a blowout, like I thought game 4 was going to be a laugher where I'm like, man, we'll see what happens. But no, it was
like 3 games without Ja this year. Like,
I think they were like 20 and 5 or something like that. But I was thinking like in the playoffs, like Ja was such a big point, big focal point of how they were scoring offensively. Like they're going to take a hit without Ja, they're going to lose the game. I mean, they did lose, but they didn't lose the way I thought they were going to lose.
I mean, they
it was
held the lead
actually
until the last minute of the game.
Yeah, when Steph Curry got hot, yeah, it was wild. But currently, the Warriors lead that series 3-1. Game 5 is tomorrow as well. Let me ask y'all this, because Ja Morant, as we kind of hinted towards, he missed game 4, has a knee bruise, and he's expected to be out for the remainder of the playoffs. Can the Grizzlies win this series without Ja, and do you think they will?
I don't believe that. I know that in the regular season that they've won. I think that was 20-5, right? Without Ja.
I think so, yeah.
But playoffs against Steph Curry, against Golden State, like Ja is needed for them to win this series. So I definitely feel like Golden State is definitely going to win the series now.
Alan in the comments said Ja might be the next D Rose.
No, but
it's something about these smaller guards that are really explosive.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think how many actually had lengthy. I mean, I guess Russ.
Yeah, he's had knee injuries, but like he stayed pretty durable through his.
Yeah, he's been able
30s.
to keep that. John Wall,
Kevin
Derrick
Johnson.
Rose. Oh, that's a good one. D Rose was able to kind of reinvent himself after the injuries, but like the midi and that floater game is still lethal. But I don't want to project nothing on Ja. I want Ja to continue being Ja. He's gonna play the way he played, and that's part of why I love watching him hoop, which is probably the same feeling that like people had about Chicago D Rose, people who were huge D Rose fans, where it's like, I know the play style might be hard on the body, but it's exciting to watch, and I love watching it. Do y'all think that Jordan Poole injury or the knee pull was anything?
I was away for work late last week, so aside from the bus game, I didn't see anything that happened between Thursday and Sunday.
Oh man, you missed all kinds of drama.
I did. I mean, like I followed along, but I didn't see like the actual games. So like somebody showed me the clip of Poole, and I'm like, I don't even know what I'm supposed to be looking for. Like, so I don't think it was anything. Like you can ascribe a level of premeditation when you're looking at something in very slow motion. It's like, oh yeah, of course he pulled. Like you don't have enough time to pinpoint where his knee is and then yank on it and be like, oh, this is gonna take him out the game. Like,
right.
I felt like that was Memphis reaching because Steve Kerr went so hard at Dylan Brooks for the flagrant.
My God, he did
on Gary Payton, which I get being frustrated, and I understand. Like, and maybe he actually did believe like all the things that he was saying, but at the same time, like if the NBA is a brotherhood, like throwing that type of allegation on somebody is serious business, and it really poisons the well, like in the media, in the fan base, even in your own team. Like if they looking at Dylan Brooks like, yo, you just took my man out like on purpose, like that has long lasting repercussions. And I like, again, not to say that he doesn't believe it, but like you better really hardcore believe it if like you're throwing that type of stuff out.
Yeah, I feel you on it. And this series has had a lot of that in it, where it's just kind of like accusations flying and just, I mean, technicals, flagrants, getting ejected. Like this series has had a lot of that.
Also, Steve Kerr, you have some nerve. You have Draymond Green on your team. And you had Zaza Pachulia on your team. Like
it's a whole rule because it's Zaza now. Like, come on, man.
You want to talk about there being a code? Like maybe you need to enforce that with your own players.
What Michael Jackson say? Start with the man in the mirror.
There you go. But I do feel bad for Gary Payton because.
Oh yeah, fracture in the elbow. I hit my elbow on something and I want to pass out. I can fracture in it. No. And I also want to say this because there's been so many bodies on the floor, especially in that Milwaukee-Boston series. that hardwood court is hard. Like, it's in the name, hardwood court. They are out here falling like it's a trampoline or something. I'm like, I know that these guys are sore right now. It's just been all kinds of bodies on the floor, like wrestling matches out here. Kane has a question for us. Am I the only one who was sick of every foul being checked for a flagrant 1 or flagrant 2? Can we let the people play? How y'all feeling about all these? It has been a lot of, it's been physical ball. The NBA has been trying to clean some stuff up. How do y'all feel about all the whistles we've been getting?
I don't know. I'm sick of it. I feel like we need to just, like, kind of like what Kane said, is like let them play. Because it's playoff ball. I don't want it to come down to like a foul that's very borderline, like can change like the whole dynamic or flow of the game. So I'm getting kind of sick of seeing it.
Like, I feel you, and I understand like how it's detrimental to the product, but at the same time, like if you institute rules to keep people safe, like you kind of got to enforce those rules. Like if you care about player safety, if you just like ask the playoff, like no blood, no foul, like then it is what it is. But yeah, like blows to the head, because that's the thing. Like it'll be those ones where it's like a glancing blow to the head, and it's like, okay, was it enough to be like unnecessary, or was it like in a natural flow thing? Is it because flagrant 1s and 2s? I don't know what that is. Flagrant 1s and 2s.
Your house talking to you again, fam?
It's something beeping, but there's nothing in here that beeps. Flagrant 1s and 2s like can swing the score and the momentum of the game so heavily. Like you kind of got to make sure that you get that right.
Yeah, I guess I would come in because I'll say this. I know being a referee is very difficult. It's not an easy job to do, especially in real time when everything's going so fast. But some of the things that they're like stopping play for to check to see if it's a flagrant, I'm like, in real time I'll be watching it like, no, like it was just a foul. But they're like, nope, we're going to the monitors here, and then the game slows down for 5 minutes, whatever the case may be. But for game time, like watching purposes, I definitely get the annoyance of it. I get that they're trying to enforce the rules so people can be safer and have longer careers. Because again, that hardwood is hard. But I think that's part of it.
I do like Jeff's follow-up comment though. You want to pull that up?
Go ahead, highlight that.
He said they can check the camera for a blow to the head in the TV timeout. It takes them every 10-ish minutes. Yeah, that's a good point. Like we can review if it's a 3 or a 2 and make that call from the league office. So I think that they can institute a little bit more of like remote refereeing. So like while game is going on, like check to see if this is a flagrant foul. If it was, then assess it, deal with it after the next break. And if it's like within the last 2 minutes of the game where obviously you don't have a TV timeout after that, then that can be when you stop playing to review it. But yeah, throughout the game, like I don't see why you couldn't do that.
Hey, ideas thrown out by the commenters, like that one, Kane. We all had Golden State winning this series. I would think that Ja injury just kind of makes it feel inevitable at this point. Do y'all think that this game ends tomorrow, or are they going to go 6, go 7? They're going to be able to stretch this series out some.
I'm not ready to count out. I'm not ready to count out the Jazz Grizzlies. Like they actually were probably win percentage wise, they were probably like still like a top 3 or 4 seed. So sorry, I got work messages coming in. But yeah, I mean, like obviously, like they're down 3-1. Like the writing's pretty much on the wall. But I wouldn't be surprised if they were able to force a game 6 or 7.
Yeah, I think it's going to go at least 6. Still, they're going to get one more game, I think.
Yeah.
All right, y'all want to talk about Phoenix and Dallas, or y'all want to talk about Miami and Philly?
It don't matter. I don't really care about either series, to be quite honest with you.
Can you feel stronger about one or the other?
I want to talk about Philly and Miami.
All righty. Currently, that series is also tied 2-2. Joel Embiid and Kyle Lowry both returned to the lineups for Game 3. But at this point, Kyle Lowry is going to be out for Game 5 and potentially the remainder of the series because of that hamstring. And Eric, you mentioned that you weren't able to watch the games. I don't know if you watched Game 4, Ken, but Kyle Lowry should not have been out. I was watching, like, dude, you can barely walk at this point. You should probably go sit down somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Re-injured the hamstring, so now he's out for Game 5. And Kyle, it's been rough going for him right now with that hamstring. Like, hey, you get kudos for trying to gut through it, but I'm glad you're about to sit down somewhere right now because that's not something that you want to play with. And honestly, with the way that Jimmy Butler has been hooping, just rest, get better, and let Jimmy carry this load. And let's hope that if you're a Miami fan, you're hoping that you just start knocking down some of those threes. Ooh, Kane got an accusation in the comments saying Lowry is the dirtiest player in the game.
I don't know if you can say that when Marcus Smart is.
Yeah, I was about to say
or Chris Paul.
Chris Paul do be doing some dirty stuff, and he get away with a lot of it.
He get away with murder, low key.
Because he's the point guard, but that'd be an interesting discussion.
That's why.
Yeah, he pushed Giannis out the air during the finals in a very dangerous method, but no one said anything about it. Like they was like, "Oh, Giannis dunked, cool."
That's because we handed them an L. I'm wearing the wrong shirt. I thought I was wearing the alley-oop shirt. I'm wearing the block.
The block shirt. Gotta represent. I'm wearing the black on black everyday media shirt. You can't see it right now, but trust me when I say it's there. Yeah, Miami, Philly though. The NBA announced that they were going to fine the 76ers 50 stacks because they violated the league's injury reporting rules for how they handled Joel Embiid's return. I don't think they really care too much at this point. Like, teams are going to do whatever they can do to maintain a competitive edge. They just like, hey, you're going to find me. Same thing with Chris Paul. They're like, find me if you want to. Just find me.
I was gonna say two things about that. One, I wouldn't be surprised if whenever Chris Middleton is ready, like the Bucks just pop up with, okay, he's active now. But then also, like Kyle Lowry shows why people shouldn't be trying to rush him back. Like you can try to force it and actually be a detriment to your team. Like I think obviously Embiid coming back made a bigger difference, but like compound that with Kyle Lowry giving you less than 0 on the court. It's like you could have somebody that's healthy out there that can at least run around and do things. Like I get it, like it's gutsy, it's commendable, like to try for your teammates, but you got to know when, okay, I'm out here and I'm hurting these dudes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a big fact. We all have Miami winning this series. I will say that I think that it's really interesting that it's now tied 2-2. Of course, Embiid swings that. Missing him is a huge piece for Philly. Like with no Embiid, there's really no chance. Yeah. And him being out there, someone else who's kind of gutting through stuff, only at about 70% maybe. But Embiid's able to still make an impact, unlike Kyle Lowry has been, where he's passing up layups, where you're like, Kyle, like if you can't do this right now, we need to get you off the court.
Lower body injury versus upper body injury.
Yes, and yes, that's a great point with that. Honestly, I was seeing James Harden kind of turn the clock back in Game 4 for a moment. It was fun to watch, seeing him hit the step backs and seeing Harden showing emotion. Normally, I don't see Harden play that way, but you could tell that was a man who has been upset with himself and his level of play. So seeing him do it for one game was pretty cool. But I don't know if that is in James Harden's bag consistently going forward. Like I'm curious to see the one game blip or more of like a return to normalcy for him. But we'll see.
I mean, he has to show that he can sustain it over the course of this season. So until he does it 2 or 3 times in a row, I'm not going to believe it.
BP in the comments asked, do we think Miami rushing Lowry back is telling about their confidence in winning the series?
I mean, they
personally,
were up 2-0 when he
came back. So I don't think that's part of it. I think it's more so one of those things where when you have a guy and he wants to play, and you're trying to balance like what the medical team is saying, like we should wait a little bit, and the guy's like, I want to play. Where is that medium for them to both coexist? Like, okay, we can agree that game 3 is a great time to come back. And at this point now, does not look like it was a great time to come back. And we didn't even mention the fact in the Milwaukee-Boston series, Robert Williams might not play in game 5 either with the right knee soreness, which coming back from injury, you got to be careful. You got to be careful. I don't really have too much more to add to the Miami-Philly thing, except for asking y'all, do y'all still feel like Miami will win this series? Or are you jumping ship over to the Philly side?
No, I still have Miami winning the series.
E?
Yeah, I mean, I had it going 7 initially because, like, I figured Embiid will be back at some point. Like, all things being equal, I probably would have picked Philly. I just feel like that 2-game hole was a lot to get out of. I still think Miami has enough to kind of hold on, but talking out both sides of my mouth, I could easily, like, I wouldn't be surprised if Philly ends up winning.
All right. Well, we still got Miami in that series. I think game 5 is on right now as we record this, so I'm going to have to turn that on in a bit. Last series to talk about in the NBA playoffs that's going on right now, the Phoenix Suns and the Dallas Mavericks, another series that's currently tied at 2-2. Game 5 is tonight, so we'll see how that decisive game goes. I'll be honest with you. I didn't expect to see Dallas having Phoenix out here looking the way they were looking in games 3 and 4. Chris Paul has had a rough go in Dallas, and then game 4 fouling out was terrible. His mom and the wife getting harassed. I don't know if y'all heard the additional details about what actually happened with that. So apparently that fan kept trying to hug the mom and wish her happy Mother's Day.
Yeah, like I thought from the jump, like it was kind of weird reporting. Like they kept saying put hands on, and I'm like, what does that mean? Because like I know, if Ken said I'm gonna put hands on you, like I know what that means, but like in a reporting context, like that seems like oddly specific language to use, like to describe an event. So like for it to come out that he was just basically like harassing her, like I don't appreciate like Dallas when they announced his ban, they were like, oh, he just gave unwanted hugs. Like that kind of downplays what exactly it was. Like you see somebody, oh, he gave unwanted hugs. Like that sounds kind of like
like who does
softening the language.
I don't know. But I think they said that because Chris Paul kept saying that he put hands on my mama or my family or whatever. So that's probably why they reported it that way.
Yeah, and there were people trying to come at Chris Paul for his comments after when he was tweeting about like F that. And I'm like, one, someone was harassing his family. Like you're going to be emotional.
My mama and my woman, like come on, bro.
Like, and your kids watched it happen and they felt uncomfortable. Like, no, like sometimes emotion will take over. It got the best of Ja after he got injured, tweeting out, broke the code and things of that sort before he deleted the tweet. And then, in game 4, he's dapping up Jordan Poole. But that's how emotions work from time to time. And honestly, if I was in a situation where I heard that my mother was getting harassed, I'm going to be tight too. And I don't even get tight often. I'm a very low-key, chill individual. But if you mess with my mom, like, I get it. I get it.
And like I've heard other people be like, well, why are you bringing your family to an away game? Like he should be able to bring his family to an away game.
Exactly.
Like,
what?
Common decency says that, like even if it's not his family, like just leave people alone. Like it don't matter who they root for. Like if they don't want you to touch them, don't touch them. Like if they don't want to talk shit to you, leave them the fuck alone. Like engage with people that want to be engaged with, but if they don't want to be, like leave them the hell alone.
So with the series being tied 2-2, now it's a best of 3 series. BP does have a question. If you're Phoenix, do you just let Luka do his thing and make sure to shut everyone else down? That's been brought up by a few different people. I've been hearing that in regards to Luka and actually in regards to Giannis and the Bucks, kind of like just let him do what he's going to do and let's shut everyone else down and see how that goes. How do y'all feel about that particular strategy?
Luka can kill you in so many different ways. Like
exactly.
Like there really is no great way to guard Luka. Like I get it. Like if Giannis is getting single cover 1-on-1 and the person can at least hold their own, like Al Horford and Grant Williams have been able to. It's kind of like KD last year against the Bucks, where it's like, yeah, you cooking, but I'm making you work for it, and this is gonna grind you down over time. And like, as long as it's not easy, like we can kind of live with, shut everybody else off, and you singularly as a person like have to beat us completely. But with Luka, like, first of all, the three is deadly, and like even if you do just devote resources to shutting down everybody else, like you don't really have anyone that can kind of even make him work one-on-one. It feels like I get that they have Mikal Bridges, but
I'll say Bridges and Crowder are the only two I can think of that you can really be like, go bother him.
Yeah.
I don't think physicality is really gonna bother him. Like, he doesn't rely on his speed and athleticism anyway, so it's a lot of tough shots that he's hitting. And it's like, change of pace, slow down. Like, he's just so hard to guard one-on-one. Like, I think that you have to devote a little bit of extra attention to him to even make him work. So, like, to that end, like, I think you're going to skew closer to, shut down Luka, take care of you, let everybody else beat you.
Man, BP, I'm appreciating you in these comments, man. You out here coming with some interesting questions about these matchups. BP asks, who do you think is a role player between Phoenix or Dallas that you think needs to step up? Dallas, you would think Brunson, but he's ball dominant. Jason Kidd, after I think they lost, I can't remember if it was game 1 or game 2, he mentioned the fact that someone needs to step up and help Luka. Like, we need a 1B here. Like, someone needs to step up. And Jalen Brunson has, I think, filled that role for them of being like that second guy for Dallas. But it's kind of simple. Like, the playoffs, really, the others matter in the playoffs. Like, are you going to be a other that can play in the sixth? Like, are you a 16-game guy or are you a regular season guy? And we've seen Maxi Kleber. Like, we've seen some big games from Maxi. We've seen games from Dinwiddie. Like, Finley Smith. Like, Dallas has a few different guys where I feel like any game, any of them can be like the guy who steps up, because they're going to continue to have opportunities while Luka's feeding them based on the way that he plays and the attention that he draws and how he's going to try to kick and get those open shots for those guys. So honestly, it's whichever one is going to be hot that night, in my opinion. But Eric, I saw you.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the playoffs are disrespectful as hell. Like, they really show like what teams think. Like, and I'm being serious. Like, it shows what teams think about you. Like, looking at the Bucks Celtics series, like Bobby Portis and Grayson Allen are basically being played off the court because they're getting targeted every time down on the defensive end. And offensively, like, they know that they only have a couple of moves and they sitting on those moves and they're basically choking them out, like, on the offensive end. So, and the same thing on Boston, like, until basically game 4, like, Derek White was damn near unplayable. Peyton Pritchard, like, barely gets any clock. Like, last year, going back to that Brooklyn series, like, they wound up sitting Bobby Portis for like the last 3 games of the series because they couldn't play him. And teams will keep hammering home, every little advantage that they have until you either get better or they take you out the game. So, yeah, like, I think every role player needs to step up because, like, otherwise your ass is off the court.
Yeah, and just one more Boston-Milwaukee thought. Personally, with George Hill back, and I get why George Hill gets the minutes because he's a bigger body, but if that's what Grayson Allen is going to be giving us, I would rather see Jevon Carter in the game than Grayson Allen for those spot minutes. You can throw Carter on Marcus Smart, Peyton Pritchard, some of the smaller guards they have over there, but like,
he held his own against Brown and Tatum when he got switched on.
I'm not going to
I'm not saying that's his primary role, but like, I think he holds up better against those two if he gets switched on to him
than Grayson, for sure. Which is wild to say because Jevon Carter is like
4 inches shorter.
Yeah, I think he's listed at 6'1", somewhere around there.
Yeah,
let's see though. But Phoenix, Dallas, we all had Phoenix winning this series. Dallas making anybody want to jump ship?
No, I'm sticking with Phoenix.
Yeah, me too. I just wanted to see. No, I think Phoenix is still a better team, and I can't wait to see what Game 5 looks like tonight, actually, because I think Chris Paul is going to come out and have himself a game. Yeah, BP, I think Carter is 6'1", which means he's probably really like 5'11", 6 foot, somewhere in there. So me and him might be eye to eye for all I know if I had the right shoes on. The playoffs continue when we get back to the studio next week, Tuesday. That'll be the second round will be done. So we will be coming back for a conference final. So if things go the way that we think that they'll go, when we come back into the studio next week, we will be discussing Milwaukee versus Miami and Phoenix versus Golden State. If things go the way that we think they will, that's the way that it's going to go. Jeff, they said they measure people barefoot now, but I still don't trust them. I'm not even going to lie to you. That's just me being skeptical. I don't trust them. I don't trust them.
That's a BP's point. Is that Bobby Portis? Because he won Bobby Portis pick and roll.
Let me find out Bobby Portis in the chat.
Hey, this is a pro Bobby Portis podcast.
Yes, it is.
But yes, Giannis has historically been the Bucks pick and roll ball handler in the playoffs. Like that was kind of what got them into trouble those first 2 years under Bud. Like moving him off the ball and putting him in more of a screener role, at least down the stretch of games, is what kind of unlocked the Bucks offense last year. Yes, Carter does look 5'10" lucky. So like Giannis pick and rolls, I don't think would necessarily work just because they're probably being guarded by like-sized players anyway. So you're not creating a mismatch, and it's an automatic switch.
Yeah. But, man, I've been having fun with the playoffs. A lot of big game fives coming up with 3 of the 4 series being tied to 2. I told my mom, like, it's best of 3 now, and that made her panic. I guess hearing best of 3 puts a different weight on somebody than hearing best of 7, but that's the reality for 3 of these series right now, and we all know how pivotal game fives are. So you win that, you're in a good spot, but it's not over until it's actually over. So some more NBA news. The Sacramento Kings have agreed to a 4-year contract with Warriors assistant Mike Brown.
Hey, congratulations, sir.
Mike Brown. So he actually got to coach the Warriors yesterday as the acting head coach of the Kings, which was interesting with Steve Kerr being in COVID protocols. And Steph Curry even has some shade. He because they didn't shoot well, and he goes like, I guess, that King stuff rubbing up on us.
I was just gonna say, is Mike Brown the first person to ever be named the head coach of 2 different teams in the same day?
Same day.
Oh, you're making history.
Mike Brown. So with Mike Brown being hired in Sacramento, there was a time where Mark Jackson was the leading name you kept hearing as who was going to be in Sacramento. And then Mike Brown came in and said, no, that's me. I got it. Don't worry about it. But with Mike Brown's name off the list, that affects the Lakers coach search, because the Lakers apparently now only have 11 names left on their list that they're considering. Only 11 names for the Lakers that they're considering for their coaching job now, with Mike Brown being off the list. I'm going to name some of these names. And
time out. They were considering bringing Mike Brown back?
Yes.
Yeah, bro. Yes, we were.
Proceed.
So, Dooch, if this is the point, I think you might want to come off mute for this part. The question I have is just, how are y'all feeling about the Lakers coaching search, and is there anyone that y'all actually really want? I'm gonna name off some of the names of people who have been rumored to be in the Lakers sites. Dooch getting the mic set up. Quinn Snyder, although after hearing him speak, it sounds like he might end up staying in Utah. I can hear you a little bit, Dooch.
Okay.
Yep, you there.
He was the only one I really wanted.
Nick Nurse's name was thrown out, and they were like, that's not happening. Mm-hmm. Doc Rivers' name has been thrown out.
Hell no.
Juwan Howard. Steve Clifford.
Mm-hmm.
Terry Stotts.
No, I'm good.
Mark Jackson.
I'm good on Mark Jackson, too.
Darvin Ham.
Hey, well, I don't know what he can do.
Scott Brooks. Alex Jensen and Adrian Griffin. Like, the Lakers are just out here. They turn over every rock for this coaching search. Y'all got Phil Jackson back in the building.
Bro,
y'all got
Phil name in there off the blue. Phil Jackson got thrown in. Talking about advisor. Nigga, sit your ass down somewhere. What happened to you advisor the Knicks, nigga? What are you doing?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you go advise that, nigga.
Phil just used his coaching search to slide back into Genie's DMs.
Yeah,
you know it.
Exactly.
trying to get back in them good
Oh,
graces.
baby, I can help you out.
Yeah, baby. Let me see what I can do.
Brock, look, he don't know what he doing. Like, I'm the best coach of all time. Like, who gonna tell you who right coach to get? Ignore Derek Fisher. Like, that would ignore that.
On the real.
Oh man.
But where y'all at with this coaching search? Where are y'all at just with the Lakers? Because as Kane said, y'all should just name Bron as coach at this.
Hey,
this
relax.
rate.
All right, Kane. Ha ha ha. But
He said,
no, man, I'm still tight about that nigga, man. This nigga, I don't know, man. That's where we at. Nigga, I just don't fucking know, bro. I just don't know no more. I really don't. Like, I'm at that point, man. I am broken, bro. The Lakers have
Lakers broke you?
Yes, man. I don't even know no more.
The fact that the Bears didn't, but the Lakers did is
yes, this
upset
hurt,
of
bro.
the century.
It's hurt my heart, bro.
I feel like Genie.
I needed more out of y'all, and y'all ain't do shit.
On the real.
All this money we done spent on you, motherfucker.
She wasn't lying. She said with this payroll.
On the real. We didn't even make the playoffs.
She said,
You gotta be kidding me.
She said, this ain't what I signed up for here. We the 4th highest payroll in the league, and we didn't make the play-in.
Oh, Lord.
That's tough.
Yeah,
go
like
ahead.
okay, people keep throwing Doc. Absolutely not. Everybody keep throwing Mark Jackson, but this is not the fit for Mark Jackson.
Yeah.
The Kings would have worked for Mark Jackson more than coaching this Laker team. I feel like Mark Jackson needs a younger team, like that he can kind of like groom, like shape and mold. Like throwing him into this, no, bro. Oh, Mark Jackson ain't
Setting them up for disaster.
on what, bro? That'd be a disaster. No, bro.
They're going to try to
LeBron
tell
be
Mark
throwing.
Jackson what to do, and he's going to be like, no.
No.
I was like, LeBron be throwing subliminals by the second week of the season.
He was.
Wasn't it Mark Jackson who made the comment about his wife? About LeBron's wife?
With all due respect.
With all due respect.
Oh, he did? Oh, man. With all due, you
With all
finna
due
disrespect.
respect.
You know
You finna get disrespected, bro. When he start off with that, but bro, just disrespect me, bro. That's more disrespectful.
I got two things for the Lakers fan. One, like I feel like this long ass coaching search list, like that's just Rob Pelinka trying to look busy.
Yeah.
Like he definitely just keep leaking different names to people.
He looks very busy.
All right, like I got 13 people I'm considering. Like
He's
don't be
getting no
asking about
sleep.
Russ trade. I ain't got time for that right now. Like I gotta figure out this coach thing.
He like, I'm not gonna sleep until we find a coach.
BP asked, would you say that roster construction is the Lakers' bigger issue? Because to their point, he was saying, I think that Vogel is still a good coach, just hasn't been in a great situation. And then Kane also added that Russ's contract is the problem. So do y'all think that roster construction is the bigger issue?
It was an issue before Russ got there. Russ just made it a bigger issue.
Yeah.
That's basically where we are with that. Vogel is a scapegoat. Because it didn't work this year. Somebody had to get thrown under the bus, and unfortunately it was him. He's not a bad coach. This man just won us a chip in 2020, so you can't.
I'm about to say he just won us a championship.
Yeah, so you can't be like that. Like, oh, let's get rid of him. Like that's crazy. He was a scapegoat. It didn't work out. LeBron not gonna take responsibility
At all.
for what's going on right now. So Frank Vogel had to get thrown under the bus.
And Russ too.
Yeah.
And Russ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I got one more Laker question for y'all.
Yeah,
If Russ is on the roster when the next season starts,
I'm done. Oh, shit.
I don't know if I can take another one, bro.
because hey, let me try to be optimistic here. Maybe it just the pieces around. Maybe it just wasn't the best fit. Y'all did have a lot of injury. You know what? This don't. I can't make myself believe this.
Exactly.
I'm sorry. I can't do it. I was gonna try.
Say, like they really, between all the AD's injuries, like they never really got an actual see it like they full team.
The full team, no, not
like especially like later in the
entire
season once people were kind of like acclimated to the situation, like they didn't really have time in jail. So like I think that if they do bring Russ back, like that'll be the way that they talk themselves into it.
Yeah.
Like just give it time.
yeah.
No, Russ gonna play if he on that roster. And BP says optimism says a healthy AD fixes a lot, which and a healthy LeBron. Like LeBron showed that this year he still is an impact player.
Mm-hmm.
And again, of course, like AD do get hurt a lot, but a lot of the injuries this year were not really his fault. Like one injury, he stepped on somebody's foot. The other injury, somebody ran into his knee. So a lot of the injuries that he suffered this year wasn't his fault. Even though he is Cottonelle.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Angel soft out here, but it's all right.
He is, dog. And he had that little spark where he was kind of like confused in the beginning before he got injured. So,
he didn't really know. Yeah, I don't know. It's like this whole after, like we really won the chip, and then after he came back, he was trying to find himself. Like he didn't know, like okay, like am I gonna shoot threes or I'm being a post, like what role or what is my identity this year?
That bubble was different.
Just ball.
Yeah. So my question before we move on was like of the people listed, like you said, no Mark Jackson, no Doc Rivers. Like, is there somebody that they could hire? Not Nick Nurse because that's not gonna happen. Like, is there anybody that they will realistically hire where you'd be like, yeah, that's a good one. Like, that's what I'm rooting for.
Snyder, he was the only one that was like,
okay, somebody that's not under contract with a different team.
Nobody. He's the only one.
That's a fact.
Like, for real, I don't know what to tell you. Phil Jackson, he don't sound that bad after you really think about it.
That's where we at.
That's where we at right now. This is where Laker Nation is at, folks.
It don't sound too bad when you really think about it.
Yeah, Russ, bro, I can run a triangle, can't you? Can't do a triangle, can't you?
Let's get this going. Let's get it going.
All right. We're going to talk more about the Lakers when we do a off-season, breakdown. But Darvin Ham did get interviewed, BP. I said before I would love for Darvin Ham to get his first head coaching gig. But honestly, with the way that things sound in L.A.,
I don't want him.
I don't want to set the black man up.
Yeah,
definitely want to set him up to fail, man.
Yeah, I don't.
This all goes back to them. Like, what is it when you like don't offer somebody enough money?
Low ball.
Thank you. Like, this all goes back to them low ball and Tyronn Lue. Like,
yeah,
y'all could have had a great coach.
I was gonna say he's proven with the Clippers, like he's a phenomenal basketball coach, and he already has a working relationship with LeBron. Like, it would have been seamless, and instead you try to use like, oh, well, you playing with the Lakers, your Lakers family, blah blah blah. He's like, well, pay me what I'm worth. Like, I'm a championship winning coach. They're like, nah, too rich for my blood. And then he goes across the hallway, and now they got a much better coach.
Right. I agree with you, BP. I would rather see Ham go to somewhere like Charlotte. Give him a younger team, somewhere where he can.
For sure.
Hey, Kane said y'all want to
relax,
Ben Baker?
Never.
It's Ben Baker, bro. Bro, come on, man.
Ben be out here coaching, Ben out here coaching.
He do be out here.
We don't need no AAU coach, bro.
Hey, man, he on the Bucks bench, man. Don't be disrespectful, fam. This is an AAU coach.
I feel like there's no in between with the Lakers hire though. Like, it's either gonna be like somebody super splashy, where it's like, damn, they took him from whoever, or it's gonna be somebody that is like super milquetoast and it's like Steve Clifford, like
Stan Van Gundy. Y'all should hire.
What?
Get him off of commentary. Get him on the sideline.
Actually, the funniest part would be like bringing in Jeff Van Gundy. Like, if he come in and take Mark Jackson's job,
oh my lord,
that'd be sick.
Then I don't think Mike D'Antoni will ever step foot in the Staples Center again.
I was just saying, bro, don't even bring that name up, bro.
Him with LeBron, like, I feel like.
Oh shit!
That's what I'm saying, Kane. Bring on Van Gundy. Let's get him off of commentary.
No, we get both on commentary.
Man,
yeah. Well, Stan's the more I can listen to Jeff a little bit more, and I listen to Stan at this point.
Man, yeah.
No, Stan was just going ham over Giannis.
Man, I can hear him listen. I can listen to Stan Van Gundy commentate any other team but the Bucks. I don't know what his thing is with Giannis, but he he seems to.
You know what it is that he tried to emulate what the Bucks do, and then that got him fired with New Orleans. He's like, man, fuck that system. So he imported a whole little setup, and that shit did not work.
Wait, wasn't Stan Van Gundy the coach for the Pistons when we swept them in the playoffs too?
Maybe.
I think he was. Yeah, I want to say he was.
He sure was. I get it.
I'm about to say, I want to say yeah.
I get it.
That's it.
Got them brooms.
Understand the Giannis. I understand. One more commentary note here. Kane said, isn't Hubie Brown pretty bad also?
Like, I don't know. Like, again, like I think it's different when it's your team that's playing. Like in games that the Bucks aren't playing, like I don't have a problem with really any commentators except for like maybe Reggie Miller.
Reggie's gotten better. I want to say
yeah.
He just be forcing it though. Like he, with nicknames and just like he don't have the right energy at the right times of the game. Like he be too turned up when it was just like kind of a mild play, and the other time he got to body a little bit better.
My man's all over the place.
BP just said that
I'm excited to be here. I am so happy to be here.
I'm so happy to be here.
All right.
Sorry, BP had a comment about LeBron playing defense that I just wanted you to highlight.
Yes. He said LeBron's done playing defense. Sign me up. Sign Mike D'Antoni.
Sign me up. Hey, they gonna score 120 a game, guaranteed,
and give up
110 every night.
140.
No, AD wouldn't last through training camp like having to prop up that defense.
No, he would have been broke down.
We already know LeBron don't want to play defense in the regular season. That's a playoff thing. We saving these legs. So as we mentioned before, the NBA has been announcing the award winners just over since the season ended. And now we have the full slate. We got our last 3 awards that have been named. Monty Williams is the coach of the year. Nikola Jokic is the MVP. And Tyler Hero was 6th man of the year. And 414 for Tyler Hero for show. And what I thought would happen with the MVP conversation happened. People were upset. People were saying that Jokic didn't deserve it. Embiid was robbed. Giannis is the true MVP. So on and so forth. And I just want to repeat again, I feel like we've said this so many times on this show. 1, MVP is a regular season award. Yep. What you do in the playoffs is supposed to have no bearing on you winning this award. Notice I said supposed to. 2, all 3 of those guys, Jokic, Embiid, Giannis, all had MVP caliber seasons. As long as one of them was going to win, I didn't have an argument where it's like, yeah, these 3 were probably like the most valuable players this year. Any other 3, for sure. Go ahead. And honestly, for a while, Giannis wasn't even in my list until he had his surge late. But hey, just congratulate Nikola Jokic, man. He's putting up historic numbers. He was able to keep his team afloat without Jamal Murray, which was expected. But then he also lost Porter Jr., which when that happened, I was like, oh, they done so. It's over. And they weren't. So, it is what it is. Congrats to the award winners.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I will be interested to see what the MVP vote was. Like I have some people, and I feel like that was the case in one of Giannis's MVP years where a lot of people were saying like, oh, it's close between him and Harden or him and LeBron, but then the vote really didn't show that. And it's like, yeah, it just means like enough people like slightly had Giannis above whoever the other guy was. So like even if Jokic runs away with the MVP, like it could be like if you assign points to it, it could be like, oh well, I had Jokic at 98 points and I had Giannis at 97 and I had Embiid at 94. Like it could be close. And it's just like it's winner take all. So
yeah, it is.
That
what
doesn't
it is.
really
hey.
reflect.
Them's the breaks. Them's the breaks, babies. Only one champ. 1 award winner for each award. So shout out to the Joker for getting it, back-to-back MVP. He probably ain't gonna win another one for a while though. I'm gonna just throw that out there.
So Denver fans be prepared.
We're telling you now, he ain't about to get another one for a while.
Also gonna get slandered for playoff failures, and it's like, well, he ain't really the MVP if he can't carry him to a title.
regular season award.
FYI.
But we move on. So WNBA commissioner came out and said, "Hey, we're looking to expand another two teams over the next couple of years." And I've seen Twitter going crazy. I saw Mike Evans like, "Hey, yo, listen, bring a team back to Houston. I want to be an owner. I got money here. Take it. If we expand and come, I want the comments back. I want to be an owner." Like, people have been jostling already about what two cities should see WNBA expansion. And part of why they're talking about expansion is a lot of good players get cut because there are only 12 teams. Like, it's just not enough spots for the talent. So good for them. I hope that it's a successful expansion when they do choose to do so. And I'm gonna look forward to it. Like, I'm looking forward to All-Star Weekend.
Yep, more jobs. Like, it's always good.
Big facts. Some sad news here. An arrest warrant for Earl Thomas was issued in Austin, Texas, after police said that the former NFL safety violated a court protective order by sending threatening messages to a woman about her and her children. I don't really know what more to say outside of what the headline said.
Yeah, it's been sad to watch him kind of spiral. I mean, it started honestly when he was still in, like, I think when he broke his leg with Seattle, like, and that was an unfortunate situation too, because like he'd been saying like I want a long-term deal. They wouldn't give it to him. Then he broke his leg. It's like since then it's just been all bad. Like, he got into the thing with his wife before, which I think facilitated the divorce in the first place. Like, he got kicked off of the Ravens for fighting his teammates. Like, I think he had just announced like last month that he was back in shape. He was ready to get back into the league. So,
yes, that Earl Thomas came from the Seahawks. Yeah, it's been like Eric said. If you've been hearing what's been going on with him since over the last couple of years, it has just been it's been tough for him.
And that's one of the most talented football players I've ever seen in my life. Like, regardless of position, like, that man is a football player.
Yeah. And I do want to say this while we're just on a more somber note. Rest in peace to Adrian Payne. He was 31 years old, former NBA player. He was killed. You said what?
I was saying Michigan State standout.
Yeah, he was killed since we were last here, so we definitely just wanted to pay some respects to him. I did see that Draymond Green was looking to create like a scholarship in his name at Michigan State, which was cool to see. And Draymond was calling on other Michigan State alum to support the fund. So prayers out to him, his family, his friends, loved ones, all those who knew and loved him and were affected by his loss. Another piece, this was kind of just interesting to me. So I wish Tim was here this week because I really wanted to see his face when I read this news off. So I kind of actually want to save it. But the FIFA games that everybody knows and loves, it's about to be done, so. Because FIFA and EA Sports, that partnership is over. So after about 3 decades of them working together, it's coming to a close next year. We're going to have EA Sports FC. So pretty much the same game, but no more World Cups in the game after 2023. FIFA wanted EA to double the amount of money that they were currently spending, to get the rights, and EA said no. So they parted ways. As I mentioned, I wish Tim was here because he is probably one of the few people I know who I know a couple of my guys really love FIFA. Yeah, BP's like, whoa, yeah, FIFA is about to be done. But I want to get a perspective from somebody who played the game for years, and Tim was definitely that guy. So we're going to come back to this again next week on the show when we have Tim back, hopefully healthy. Eric, I see you added a couple things in here.
I did.
You want to close us out?
Sure. So a consortium fronted by LA Dodgers owner Todd Bowley has agreed to a deal to purchase the Chelsea Football Club for a world record $3.1 billion. So it's basically the previous owner of the team was Russian oligarch Roman Abramovich.
Mhm.
Like I worded that way because he didn't technically sell the team to Bowley because he's not getting any of the proceeds from the sale. The UK actually froze his assets, and the Premier League, I guess, is forcing the sale of the team. So the proceeds will actually go to charity, and then a portion of it will be invested in. I didn't understand this part, but it was in the article, so I just included it. But it says it's invested in the reigning FIFA World Cup winners. So I'll have to look more into that. But yeah, they did say Abramovich said that he wanted the proceeds to go to a charity for the victims of the war in Ukraine. So that feels like PR. But as long as the money goes where it needs to go, like I don't really care what the motive is.
Yeah, that's a lot of it.
But I just thought it was crazy. Like they forced that man to sell his team, and then like you don't get none of the bread.
Man, I don't know what I would have did. I would have passed out.
NBA should have done the same thing with Sterling.
Facts.
Yeah,
That man got rich.
You saw they coming up with a Donald Sterling?
Mm-hmm.
what documentary?
No,
Like
Oh, that's what it says. That's what it be filthy as
drama.
hell.
it's a drama though, so it's
Oh,
gonna
for
be
real?
like the
That's
winning
definitely gonna
time
be
version
filthy.
of what happened.
Yeah, that's gonna be super.
So that's gonna be
filthy.
even filthier. I
heavy.
think it's on
Heavy
FX.
on the ER.
And Al Bundy is gonna be the one playing Donald Sterling.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
We finna hate this man after this.
Was
run.
Ed O'Neill?
Yeah,
We finna hate him. He finna be the most hated man in America. Hard ER.
He's not. What else we got?
Sorry, I was
done?
reading.
Oh, I was
My
like,
bad,
oh,
my
okay.
bad. So Fiserv Forum will host a Chicago Blackhawks preseason game this October, which is good news because the Bucks and Hawks will actually be playing a preseason game in Abu Dhabi. It's actually the first NBA game to be played in the UAE.
One of these days, I just have to say, one of these days, I'm going to make one of these international trips to watch my team play. I saw the Packers are in, was it London this year?
London.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
I
the
love London.
Lambeau is hosting like a football game. I want to say
I think it's Man City.
Man City and Liverpool. No, Bayern Munich. So
Oh, yeah.
I
got
kinda wanna
friends-
go, but we'll see.
I got some friends who say they flying back to the state to see Man City in person at Lambeau. Honestly, it's like what you about to say. Like I don't even watch soccer like that,
Mhm.
but to
That's
be able
gonna
to
be
say
lit.
like I went to
Yeah.
Lambeau and watched a soccer game.
Yeah.
That sounds kind of cool.
But I mean, I guess that's the flip side of NBA and NFL taking their teams over to other countries. It's like the novelty of it is going to attract a crowd, regardless of like who's playing or what the stakes are. Like, yeah, it's a preseason game, but so what? Like, I don't get to see my team this up close. Like,
Right.
I'm going to take that opportunity. So
Yeah.
I'm with it.
Yeah.
And then final Bucks news, well, Bucks related news. The Disney Plus movie based on Giannis's path to the NBA is actually debuting on June 24th. So we have that to look forward to. They released the trailer today. I don't think the kid that's playing Giannis looks all that much like him, but how many times you gonna find a 6'9" skinny dude that's black and speaks with the Greek accent? So that's how.
The accent was kind of funny. I was like, I can hear Giannis, like the dialect, but then I was like, also kind of not as bad as, I don't know if you watch First Ladies on Showtime, which is a historical.
I've been hearing craziness about it.
I
How is
just
it?
before we wrap up, and this I know it's nothing to do with anything, but Viola Davis is an excellent actress. Okay.
Yeah.
I wish she would have just acted like Viola Davis instead of this
acting
exaggerated Michelle Obama impression that she has going on, because the facial expressions, like I'm like, why is your mouth moving so much? It's weird. The voice stuff is weird. The guy they have playing
no.
Barack Obama looks nothing like him, but he sounds like him. So you're able to kind of get over it.
Mhm.
But her
That's
Michelle Obama,
funny,
it's
dude. Like a
Just
BET
watch-
movie.
I didn't want to say it, but yeah. Michelle had to watch that and be like,
Master P made it.
Michelle Obama had to see that and be like, let me call Viola real quick and just.
That's the thing. Viola Davis is too famous to like play Michelle Obama. That's like Denzel Washington playing Barack Obama. It's like I'm only gonna see Denzel. Like it no matter how, even if your portrayal was good, like that's all I'm gonna see is like.
I want to see him play Martin Luther King.
Ain't got shit on me.
Denzel, I want to see Denzel play Martin Luther King.
Oh, you. It's some, it's some role where you just need a good actor in the spot. You don't necessarily need to pretend to like, just be a good actor and tell the story convincingly. Because when I saw what Ike Turner actually looked like, I was shocked. I said, "How they have Lawrence Fishburne? Why they have Lawrence Fishburne playing him?" But when you watch it, you're like, because he played Ike Turner.
Flip side of that spectrum, Mike Epps playing Richard Pryor. I'm only seeing.
Yeah, that was terrible. That was
it was Mike Epps being a version of Mike Epps. That's what it was.
These crackers,
it wasn't no Richard Pryor about that shit.
BP asked if we saw any of the Kyrie Irving Twitch clips. Tim actually sent one to our group chat earlier,
I saw the one
where he was imitating how fans sound, and I just kind of laughed because it's true. I mean, honestly, there's only one team that's going to win every year. It's going to be two teams standing at the end, in the finals itself. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of players sitting at home. Not much of an insult, really. Like it. Yes, I lost. Now, what else can I really say about that?
Exactly.
That's why I would go back to that LeBron quote after they lost to Dallas in the finals. It's like, I'm gonna wake up tomorrow in my $1 million house and be cool. You still gonna wake up and be broke. Like, which one of us is ready to lose here?
When LeBron said that, I was like, I said, my God, you didn't have to. I called an inadvertent shot. I didn't even talk about you, and you had to bring up the, sheesh.
He posted a video of his vacation in like Bora Bora or somewhere. That shit called me broke so many times, fam. Like, I'm just like, that's your life. Like, he worked hard for it. Like, I don't begrudge him, but sheesh.
Like, man,
let me get 2 hours, like just to see what that do.
No, I need more than 2. I'm gonna need.
I'm saying I'm not being greedy. Even if it's only for 2 hours, like
I want the full experience. Give me a weekend. Just give me a full experience weekend of what it's like to be rich, and I can go back to being broke after that.
I'm gonna come back being a donkey. Look at these peasants.
You know where I was for the last 2 days?
You know where I was? Sipping the finest wines.
The finest cuisines. Man, get out of here. You're only going for a weekend.
Come back eating ramen noodles and shit.
Right, because you spent all your money on that trip. Hey, that sounded like college, man. It was a few trips I went on. I had no business going on. I had to eat ramen and spaghetti for 2 weeks. That's all I could afford. Just make one big pot of spaghetti on the stove, and that's what I'm eating on to get through. Which is why like the night of 4 dates happens, because I was a broke college student. Anywho, WWE Backlash took place this weekend. And I honestly did not know that pay-per-view was on until I got a text from a friend who said, "Hey, you watching the pay-per-view?" And I said, "What pay-per-view?"
Yeah.
And she was like, "Backlash." And I said, "Not gonna hold you. Didn't know it was coming on." Didn't know it was coming on.
That's WrestleMania Backlash trademark.
Oh yeah, they did change the name. Kane said, "And here I am hanging with Swaggle and drinking PBR." Tell Horn Swaggle we said what up. I did not catch Backlash.
How's your cousin doing, man?
Yeah. Also, yeah. How is your cousin doing? I hope he's doing all right.
PBR.
Nothing wrong with PBR.
Hey, a good PBR ice cold.
Hit the spot.
Yeah, they do. They do something to you.
Hey, they ain't cut the check, man.
Kim, did you watch Backlash this weekend?
I just watched the Cody match, and I was glad that it was the first one because after it went off, I cut it off.
I still have to go back and watch it with the Mister, so I don't really have an opinion on. I haven't heard great things about it. I heard that the Cody match was one of the highlights of the night.
Yeah, and given it was, but they beat that to the ground, yo. Like how many times we finna see Seth and Cody go at it? I already know where they're going. He finna win Money in the Bank, and then he go end up winning the title.
Kane asked if we still coming up for it's an indie show taking place in Wisconsin.
Yes, and
This month.
We see them. Yeah, so it's info. We definitely make that.
We can talk about that off air because I got some logistical things with that event. But we can talk about that off air. Are there any blow the whistles this week?
No.
Nope. Let's get. Oh, wait, real quick. Kane said that Rick is doing good. Saw him at Easter. Surgery was successful, and he's being himself and pushing recovery.
Hey,
Shout out to Mr. Rick
Boogs. Like, I'm just thinking about like the first time the lights go out, and then you just hear like the riff. That shit gonna go nuts.
Yeah. All right, let's hit the tech top 5, and then we can get up out of here.
I did it. Y'all couldn't hear. I forgot I had it muted. My fault.
But we good. Okay, we good. Okay. So last week we did binge-worthy TV shows. Unless I'm wrong, I didn't see nothing. I didn't see nary a vote.
I ain't gonna keep doing this shit. If y'all ain't gonna
exactly.
This shit.
We ain't doing this for our health.
Be in here racking my brain to figure out the perfect top 5 list.
To entertain you, motherfuckers.
I tell y'all what.
I
tell y'all what. Y'all, we ain't getting no votes or feedback. This 5-year anniversary gonna be the end of the time.
Right. Like, I mean, like y'all voting with your non-votes.
Yeah, that's cool. Cause I mean, hey, that's less work for us to do. We cool with that. But this week we are gonna do top 5 recreational sports. Now, let me give y'all some additional context to what that means. So, we're all plus over 30 here at Tech File. So we were kind of thinking, like, if there, this summer it was a nice day in Milwaukee. If you were in Milwaukee, like, beautiful day today, about 80 degrees, sunny, light breeze, felt great outside. So the question, like, okay, summertime, you can join a little rec team of some sort. What recreational sports would you be playing? So, Eric, let's hear the list. Yeah, Tim ain't here.
I don't know, right? Like, I usually got time to kind of finalize.
Figure it out.
I think I got it though. So at 5, I'm gonna go with flag football. Like I
was gonna say that.
My body don't respond the way it used to, but I think I can still get out there and run a few routes. I'm not playing defense on nobody because I dislocated my kneecap doing that. I'm done. Like I don't have the reflexes to like be cutting with people. Like nah, I'm done. But yeah, flag football, that's fun. Like I said, like getting out there, running routes, catching passes. 4, I'm gonna go with paintballing. Like they have like
that'd be a good
team league type deal.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Do you go paintballing?
Like I've been trying to get us to do a Tech Foul paintballing excursion for 5 years now. And Camille shoot it down every time.
I'm ready.
I said Camille do it. Like Camille. If all 4 of us ain't in, like we can't do it.
Yeah.
So, like,
I heard it hurts. I don't want to get hurt.
You just gotta wear layers.
I was gonna say you just got padded up.
Yeah, once you pad up, you'll be cool.
I hear you. I do. But let's also keep in mind here, I am sticks and bones. There's only so much padding that I can put on that can also, actually help.
But if you on the move, you don't gotta worry about.
I was gonna say also you just gotta be good at paintball. Like don't get hit.
Yeah. Be on the move.
I would probably do.
You gotta hit with the
I do shooters, and that's just running out. I'm not.
You can be the sniper.
You know what? We've been doing this for 5 years.
Swiper, no swiping.
I will go paintballing with y'all.
All right, bet.
Hey.
As long as I can also have Noman.
Oh yeah.
Noman keeping my body.
I never had a problem with that. Like that was Tim. That was the resistance. Since he ain't here.
You said what? Oh, my husband said they play paintball all the time in Minnesota, so he's like, absolutely.
Yeah. Again, that was Tim. Like Tim was the one shooting at that. I'm like, oh man, like if I can't have nobody play for me, like you can't have nobody play for me. So Tim ain't here, so executive decision, we doing paintball.
Oh yeah, bet. Let's go.
All right, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
You said semi-automatic paintball guns. See.
Oh yeah. Oh, you're. Shit. That's gonna make you run as soon as you hear that. Oh shit.
You know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it too. I'm gonna do it. I'm curious. I might be a camper, but I'm gonna do it. Just like
Once
Jeff,
you get hit one time, you'll be okay. You'll get used to it.
I'm gonna probably pass out when I get hit. I'm gonna be dramatic. I'm gonna let y'all know the first time I get hit with a paintball, I'm going to like have a moment. It's going to be a moment.
You gonna pull a flag out of her pocket, waving it.
Some white flag. I'm out.
I'm done. I'm out.
I'm coming to
Hey, somebody bring out the structure. Like, damn, Camille got carted off the paintball. God damn.
Yeah, it gotta be the fall because again, like, I'm not trying to get hit on my bare skin with it. So this fall, we're gonna bring you Tech Foul paintballing. It'll be open to you gotta sign up, but it'll be open to anybody in the area. Come through, kick it with us.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun. Get to go out there with the Tech Foul fam, with the listeners, fans, and fans.
Get the young outing going.
But to continue my list, so 5 was flag football, 4 was paintball, 3 is bowling. I realized a couple months ago, like I haven't been since pre-pandemic, and I miss bowling. So,
are you a good bowler?
I have, good times and bad times. Like if I get into a zone, like 150 to 200. If I'm not in the zone, then it's like barely breaking on it. But it just depends on how much I've been playing recently. And then I lost my list. 2, I got kickball. Adult kickball is some fun ass shit. Like you ain't even gotta be good at it. Just get out there, kick, run,
have some fun.
Yeah. And then 1, I got golf. I picked it up during the pandemic. I actually just joined a group on Facebook that's called We Black, We Golf.
Okay.
So hopefully I can join up with some more outings this summer. But I'm looking forward to it. Really enjoy golf. Like it's so like I get why so many athletes, like once your body started to go, like why you pick up golf, because it still gets your like competitiveness going, and you still gotta have the body control to actually do what you want to do, and it's it's challenging but fun, like challenging in a fun way. And then you just get to be outside for a couple hours, kick it, talk shit with your boys, like
get them strokes.
Have a couple. You used to get your what in?
I say lower the strokes.
You know what? We just gonna move
the name of the game.
Moving right along.
I think it's my turn. So like you mentioned bowling. I see Candy made a comment that he had to he went to nationals in high school 4 years bowling, which is quite impressive.
Oh, okay.
Let me tell you something. My list is going to be what it is because bowling hurts my wrist. You already heard me talk about paintball. I'm gonna do it, but we'll see. So 5, I am going with dodgeball. Like there's going to be any contact sport that I am going to be in, it's going to be dodgeball. I like being able to dip, dive, dodge, and duck.
When you dip, I dip, we dip.
You can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
That's what they say. And I haven't played dodgeball in years. Like it's probably been since I was like in high school last time I played dodgeball. But I would love to like maybe not with like pros, but like if I get people who are like my fitness level, like let's go play some dodgeball. That'd be absolutely fun.
Yeah, we really gotta get these Tech Foul Olympics popping.
Man, I'm telling you, when we have our cans competition, I'm killing the competition in cans.
Tim doing barefoot races.
We're gonna do
number
a replay
4.
barefoot.
Right. Number 4, I'm going to go with volleyball. That'll probably be the most high intensity sport that I'll probably look to play. I used to be pretty decent at it. I haven't played volleyball since college. But that was one area where height and just being able to jump when I was at the net, I used to be able to get some stuff off there and feel like I was somebody, again, against regular people, not like real people who play volleyball. Number 3, I'm going to go with ultimate frisbee. A lot of running in ultimate frisbee. Eric said absolutely not. But it's fun. And I've realized the older I get, the more I just like being outside. So an outside game, that's fun. Ooh, Kane said indoor or beach volleyball. Let me go with beach because I fall a lot. So let me get some sand. Number 2, I'm going to go with softball. I have said for a while if I could do softball, that would probably be what I do. Because my friends do the kickball thing. I don't want to play kickball, but I'll play some softball. And then number 1, pool. I would love to be able to try to get really, really good at pool, like join like a rec league and play pool. Yeah, we do have to go. We should go play pool this weekend. Honestly,
okay. My stick's always ready.
Hey,
you heard it. Ken, what's on your list?
Shit.
Wait, Ken, before you go, Kane, since you naming off a lot of sports, like drop your top 5 in the comments.
I think he did.
I think he did.
Yeah, I think he did already. Yeah,
bowling, darts, softball, cornhole, volleyball. Ooh, I forgot about cornhole.
First sport.
And honestly,
wait, darts and beer go together? That sounds dangerous.
Yeah.
I just remember shuffleboard too.
Any grade. What'd you say?
Shuffleboard is really fun. I don't know if you ever played like the giant like cruise board type of shuffleboard, but it's actually really fun.
I enjoy was it cornhole?
Cornhole, bags.
Yeah, bags. There you go.
Bags is super fun too.
Yeah. But my list at 5, I have bowling. 4 flag football. I'm just gonna play quarterback. 3 kickball. 3 kickball, 2 golf, and then 1 softball, baseball. So there you have it.
I do want to say Ken's comment about being a flag football quarterback. When we had the Norman Bowl, Ken was all-time quarterback, and that man does have an arm on him.
Oh yeah, I'm out here.
Slinging that thing.
Sling.
But you know what? Let's close the show before we get off track. So, that's the show this week, y'all. We hope that y'all enjoyed it. If you can, send up the well wishes to Tim and just to like our families and friends going through some health things right now. So all the good energies appreciated. We appreciate y'all tuning in as always. If you enjoyed the show, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Listen on the audio platform. Make sure that you rate, review wherever you can. And as always, put somebody new onto the show because we don't grow without y'all. And if you want to follow me personally on social media, you can catch me.
Wait a minute.
On the Twitter, Instagram, and these PSN, 2K, GTA. Yeah, that's it. Streets. At Camille Monet, CAMILLEMONAE, because
your mom is fancy.
Yeah, right there. If you watch on the video, that's it.
At your Milwaukee Bucks burner. This time next week, they'll be in the conference finals. Into existence.
I like that. That's all y'all get to.
Yeah.
Everyday_gentleman on Instagram. I'm KHarris216 on Twitter and Snapchat.
Yeah. And Tim ain't here. He normally takes us home. So I'm not even going to do it. Yeah, Kane, turn on your PS5 and add me as a friend. I don't know what games you play, but if you in these Los Santos streets, I need some help. It's rough out here. Getting killed all the time. But no, y'all. We appreciate y'all. We'll be back with overtime on Thursday. And until then, be well, everyone.